Hello everyone and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Today we're on the Sims 2 classic kick once again, rebuilding another all-time favorite, the Pleasance house. This is the Pleasance classic house. I built it on this lot located here, which is called the Summer Home in Windenburg originally, but it's the exact size lot that this house was built on in The Sims 2, which is a 40 by 30. So great because it gives you enough width for the house, but also enough space for the backyard, which has the signature swimming pool. So the house is a pretty basic shape, I want to say, but the upstairs is where I really struggled to put this house together, mainly when it comes to the roof line. It looks like in The Sims 2 and from reference photos, they basically just use one giant piece of like a gabled roof cutting through the entire like second floor. However, in The Sims 4, if you do that, then like you see like roof bits and pieces cutting into the actual rooms in the interior, and I didn't want that to happen. So I tried it, like as you can see, but like it just didn't work out for me. So I'm like, okay, something's wrong here because the sizing of the upstairs is just not right. So I started drawing out the actual floor plan from reference screenshots. I literally counted tiles just from screenshots. So tried to get it more to scale to what it should actually be. And in the end, I actually did manage to figure out a roof line which doesn't clip or anything like that. The only thing that does clip is like the second floor like windows in the roof piece, but that's just how it was in The Sims 2. So tried to keep it pretty much the same. But before we go any further, I do want to make a mention that this week is the Sims 4 Life and Death release week, which is conveniently on Halloween. If you are pre-ordering the pack, feel free to use my EA creator code. This is how you can do that via the EA app. It is a creator code that supports me and the channel here. It's not a discount code or anything like that, but feel free to use it when you're checking out in the EA app or on thesims.com. And I do thank you so much for your support if you do decide to use it. Also, I want to announce a giveaway for Life and Death, which I will be hosting over on X. I will drop a link in the video description below. That way you can go enter the giveaway. And I think I'm going to have that end November 2nd. That way there isn't, too much of a wait for the new expansion pack if you want to try and get it that way. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot of demand. But there also is a lot of giveaways going on as well. So maybe you'll get lucky. But so yeah, I have to say they did a developer walkthrough, like a 2-hour long stream the other day, and I'm about halfway through, but I've also been watching some other YouTubers like walkthroughs showing off items and the lots that they built for the new Ravenwood world. Some of the fellow simmers and stuff that had the opportunity to create some builds for that. That's just really cool. They all did an amazing job. I watched all the videos for those. And it's just very cool. They all look so cool. And I have to say, I really like the looks of some of the items. Can't wait to check it out in-game myself. So hurry up the 31st. But yeah, just really looking forward to it. I'm especially looking forward to the build mode items. There's just so many new build mode items and a new kitchen as well. The only thing that is a slight bummer is like we got a new dishwasher with the kitchen, but we didn't get a new microwave. They never really give us new microwaves. We have gotten some like other new appliances, but not really any microwaves. So Sims team, if you're listening, please give us a new microwave. Just a new style, something besides the two like base game ones. I don't even think we've gotten a new one since base game. So yeah. But anyway, the house is pretty much almost done. I used a get-together siding here for most of the house, which matches the original pretty closely. It's not like a one-to-one copy, and this house isn't going to be a one-to-one copy because we don't have the same objects and items like we do in The Sims 2, in The Sims 4. So, I got it as close as I could. Like one of the big things is the front door. They had like a solid glass, like double door, but we don't have that. So I just got it as close as possible. Same thing with the windows. Like the windows are wooden on the exterior, but they're black on the interior. But these were like the closest windows that I could find. And they're also base game, so that's a plus. Same thing with fencing. I ended up using a growing together fencing because it was pretty close to the original. Not a 1-to-1, but I didn't like any of the other fences that I tried because I was just like, I don't really like these. And I felt like that worked much better to what was in The Sims 2. This build is available on the Sims 4 gallery as well. If you'd like to grab it and play with it, here's the gallery listing. So yeah, it's a 40 by 30, 3-bed, 3-bath, only 73,440 simoleons, or 76,440 if you're placing on the exact same lot in Windenburg to play. As far as packs, I used 5: Growing Together, Get Together, Parenthood, Kids Room, and Blooming Rooms, just for a plant or two, just to try and get a similar plant kind of vibe going. But it's, again, not going to be the exact same thing. I also couldn't find the exact same flower beds as in The Sims 2 because they had like orangey red flowers, but we didn't have anything that's like as full, I guess, in The Sims 4. But I did find like a reddish kind of flower. So it's like, yep, we'll roll with those because they are the closest. And we did use rose bushes and these birch trees. I believe they're birch trees, pretty sure. I don't know. But anyway, I also did swap the staircase because just over a tile because it's actually that way in the original build as well. So I was like, oops, I kind of messed that up. But also the backyard, I tried to get as close as possible as far as like the brick and everything. But again, it's not going to be like super exact. So, but I did try as best as I could to make everything closely resemble the original Sims 2 build. So even down to the flooring, like I was going through a whole bunch and I was like, I like this one because it has the same color as the Sims 2, but the planks are wider. But I was like, well, that's okay though, but it had the exact same color. And then I couldn't figure out what color carpeting was up here, but it looked like an off-white soft blue color, so I just went with that. And the same thing with the stair railing, so I just went with a lighter growing together railing here because in The Sims 2 it was kind of like a lighter wood, and then it had like white spindles and stuff down the banister. But again, we didn't have anything like that, so I just went with what I could. But yeah, I also had to adjust the floor plan a little bit because as I was furnishing, I realized that some things needed to be kind of shifted a tile over. But wallpapers are pretty similar. Again, we don't have the exact same wallpapers, but I tried. We do have the same kind of color tones almost. So everything's kind of got this like wood tone about it, and you got like a creamy or like a beige color. And then we have just some wainscoting there on the on most of the wallpapers there. And the bathrooms, I did change a little bit, only because the primary bedroom's bathroom there is like this really like bright, vibrant blue. And I'm like, I'm going to make an executive decision and just tone that down a little bit and go for a softer blue color in there. And a softer blue tile in there as well. So, because I was just like, oh my gosh, that is hideous. I can't do it. I can't. It's just so ugly. But yeah. And then we have the main floor bath as well, which is just like a white tile, which is the same wallpaper I used in the upstairs. Because like in The Sims 2, there's like this tile, like a white tile with like a blue border, and I thought that wallpaper that I used was pretty close, so we roll with that. Furnishings, again, I tried to get as close as possible to the original, so we had like a yellow cushion on the original furnishings in here. We don't have glass like tabletops with wood around them, but these are the closest tables that matched those. It's just they didn't have glass in the top. But same thing with lamps. That's another area that I kind of struggled with because like we don't have any of the similar style lamps, so I just went with something that was, I guess, good enough. Same thing with stereo, but we do have the weightlifting machine and the TV over here. And I did find sunflowers, which is also in the original. And I was trying to find, there's like a plant on like a little stand. So that's why I used blooming rooms for that plant stand thing, because I was like, that's probably best close as I'm going to get there. Same thing with dining table. We don't have the exact same chairs and the exact same wood tone, but I thought it was pretty close. I also did lighten up the fireplaces because they were more of a brighter tone in The Sims 2. And now we are putting together the kitchen, which here the original had a white cabinet, but like a soft green countertop. And I was going to use these at first, but then I'm like, because they kind of resembled the white countertop, but you know, it's not the same. It's not the same like worktop thing. But then I'm like, I just don't like that. So we just go with a base game white on white, because we don't have a white cabinet with a soft green like worktop thing. So it's like, okay. And the bar stools here, it's interesting because in The Sims 2, they didn't have an island there. The edging of the countertop actually continued all the way around, like up like the backsplash area, all the way over. And I'm like, why do they have stools here to make it look like it's a bar? Maybe, I don't know, but that's exactly what I got from it. So that's exactly what we went with. Using some base game lighting here to resemble the lights that were in The Sims 2. Again, as close as possible, but it is what it is, you know. We do have a similar style toilet, so that's a plus. It's pretty close, but something that does bug me about this house is that there's absolutely no showers. It's just tubs. Also, in this primary bath here that we're working on, the tub was like this weird yellow bamboo in The Sims 2. And I was like, we don't have anything like that. And I thought like, oh, I could use Horse Ranch and use like the wooden tub. But even then I was like, I don't want to use Horse Ranch just for a bathtub. So I just settled for a white base game bathtub, because I was like, we don't have that ugly tub anyway, like the ugly yellow bamboo. So I was like, they'll just get a base game. Same thing with the candles here. In The Sims 2, they had like these square candles that had like red or some different colors in the center. But again, we don't have anything like that. So I did put candles there, but just based on what we had. And then up here, we are doing, I want to say Angela's room is the pink. Yes. So again, everything is pretty much in the same spot, but like the computer shifted slightly over. But again, everything is pretty similar. Also, I couldn't see any of like the walls. In some spots, I could see some of the walls, but in other spots, I didn't know what kind of posters they had. So I just kind of like made a decision there and just threw a couple of posters up on the walls, just so it wasn't so like empty and boring. But I just kind of went with the best styling in here, but to match close to the original. And then this is Lilith's room, which I have to say is very interesting. It's very I don't know. I mean, I know she's like into the goth stuff, and she's kind of, you know, she dresses like a goth, so it makes sense. But to have a stone bedroom, just kind of like, it's like, okay, it's a little giving me a little like Vampire Lair vibes, I guess. But hey, that's exactly what the original build had, so I went with it to make it closely match the original as much as possible. We are finishing up just some finer details. I did add some more like wall sconces in a couple of areas, just because I felt like we needed a bit more light, even though they weren't in the original build. But it's just some spots were just so dark. And then here we have the it's like in the hallway up there, it's like a living room like coffee table, but it has just a lonely plant on it. I think they're like some different kind of plant, but again, it's as close as possible. Same thing with the hang lights. We don't have the same hang lights, but I did use those from Growing Together, because I was like, these are nice, and they're pretty much the only nice looking and low hang lights that I could use without using or getting another pack involved just to use a light. So I kind of wanted to limit myself on the number of packs. So only using 5, I'd say, is pretty good, considering we have like over 80 now. So, you know, I mean, obviously this house could be better if I just went all out and did more. But again, there's only so much furnishings and stuff that they used originally. So I don't know that it would really matter. We do a swing set, which in The Sims 2, there is a swing set, but it's like a one swing set, but we don't have anything like that, like a single swing set or a single swing on a anyway. Yeah, we don't have anything like that, so I just went with this double one, which I think is from Growing Together. And now I'm just doing some exterior lighting because it's just so dark around the perimeter of the house, so kind of hid those away a little bit, and just putting some trees around. They're not in the exact spots, but pretty close. And doing some terrain painting now, and we are nearing the end. I do some stuff with the pool here. I do shift it a little bit because I realized it wasn't entirely lined up. And there is a diving board with the pool in The Sims 2, but I don't like the diving boards that comes with The Sims 4. They're just too big, so I just opted for another pool ladder instead because I don't know. It would just be nice to have like a smaller diving board though. That would be kind of like great to have instead of having those big like stand podium things that came with Get Together. But yeah, we are almost into the screenshots. So yeah, just doing some additional terrain painting under the sidewalks here, and that is pretty much it. The build is finished and ready to go and available on the gallery for you to grab and play with. The lighting on this lot is absolutely beautiful. It was during a heat wave, so if you see some like weird blurriness on the screenshots, that's just because of a heat wave. I also grabbed the Pleasants from the Sims 4 gallery. I used the Pleasant family that was by a creator named It's Adam92. I think they were probably the closest to The Sims 2 because again, Mary Sue is a doctor, and it just works great. So this is the floor plan. Again, pretty close to the original. I'd say if not almost exact. But again, I think some of the scaling between The Sims 2 and The Sims 4 is a little different as far as like floor plan and stuff. But all in all, a great house. I did use this tragic clown painting here because I thought that was kind of fun because I think at one point one of them has a breakdown in The Sims 2 and you get a visit from like a doctor. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's Mary Sue's kind of like depressed or something, and she kind of has a breakdown, or at least you could have done that in The Sims 2. But yeah, and then we have the signature weight machine, kind of exercise area. It's a very weird area over here by the stairs, but whatever. It's original. Also, the landscaping is quite sparse in The Sims 2 compared to like what I would normally do. So I did add a couple of like rose bushes and stuff here and there just to make it feel a little less sparse. So yeah, something else is I would also put bedside tables, but in Mary Sue and Daniel's bedroom, there were no bedside tables. Actually, in most of the bedrooms, there were no bedside tables, except for in like Lilith and Angela's, they had one each, but I don't know. I would normally do two, or maybe like one each if the bed is like up against the wall or something, but I don't know. It works. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to grab it from the gallery. Also, don't forget to enter my life and death giveaway over on X. I will put a link in the video description as well as in a pinned comment below on this video, and that'll run to Saturday, November 2nd, 2024. So make sure to enter that. And that's all I had for this video. We're nearing the very end. You can see the backyard here. But yeah, I do thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.